Fetch! Yes, there it is. Something tells me there's a puppy in the area. Hello, Bubble. Ever fumbled around in the dark with your phone flashlight, dropping it, draining the battery, or just wishing for something stronger? What if one slim, pocket-friendly premium torch delivered all of your lighting needs and more, with insanely powerful close-up flood, a long-distance throw light, an ultraviolet light to reveal hidden marks, and even a built-in green laser pointer? All this in a tough, high-end build that actually made me excited to carry it every single day. After using this torch for a while like I have, you'll discover how this trustworthy companion levels up with you, and I'll reveal why, among all of my torches, this might be the proper buy-it-for-life option. So today, let's dive into my full review of the Olight ArkPro Ultra to see if this truly is the greatest EDC light ever made. My name is Tim, this is Goat Reviews, and I've been reviewing gadgets for over 3 years now, and I for one am a huge fan of Olight and have been carrying them for many years as well. Now when shit goes down, I trust Olight. It's a dangerous time right now, and I for one want to be prepared for anything. Now, as a disclosure, Olight did send me this ArkPro Ultra for free, though no money has traded hands. And if you do want to get your hands on this bad boy or any of the other torches shown, I'll leave a link for you in the description below with an exclusive discount code, but more on that later. Now, after carrying this ArkPro Ultra for about a week, let's get into the pros and cons, starting with the pros. These are the things that I loved about the ArkPro Ultra. First of all, everything about this product is premium, including the unboxing experience. You've got this awesome embossed representation of the ArkPro Ultra there. And on the inside, you do, of course, receive your epic torch, as well as the instruction manual, along with a little representation of the ArkBeat, which I cannot wait to show you guys. And then you do also receive a magnetic charging cable, which I'll also show you a bit later. Are you ready, guys? I've chucked on the macro lens just so you can see the immaculate beauty of this impeccable craftsmanship. This is the Olight ArkPro Ultra. Look at the grip on the side there, super premium. I love that the little USB-C charging port, which is one charging option, has this little hinged door just like that, okay? So it's going to stay waterproof. This is IPX7, and that thing's not one of those cheap rubber ones that you'll lose. On the front here, you can see both our flood and throw lens options. Sorry, spotlight and flood, as well as the UV light and laser pointer there. You've got this little dial that swivels so smoothly to choose what you'd like. On the other side, we have the option for our laser pointer. This is a Class 1 laser in Australia, so it is legal. Over onto the back, you have the logo there, and then an awesome pocket clip that's really well embedded and allows you to wear it on your hat as well because it's a double pocket clip. And then there's that awesome magnetic charging port, which I'll show you more of later. Now guys, what makes this ArkPro the Ultra version is actually this specific material here. And this is Olight's proprietary OAL. Now that stands for Olight Aluminium. And as I said, proprietary, which means this is not made by any other company. And guess what? They've made it so that it is stronger than titanium and lighter than titanium and aluminium, which is just incredible. And one of the benefits of this that you'll see on their website is that it is super scratch resistant, and I will be doing a scratch test later, so stay tuned for that. The little symbol here that you may be looking at, let me explain this to you. This is the ArkBeat, okay? Now, as you can see, it is pulsing in orange at the moment, and there's actually different levels for how long you've been using the torch. And that's what I love about this thing. You honestly feel like you're on an adventure and you're leveling this up with you. Let me explain. Here you go. Here's a list of the colors, guys. So the ArkBeat color is white up to 2 hours, and after 2 hours and before 4 hours, it is orange, which is what mine is currently at, okay? Bit hard to see there, but I must say I'm almost at 4 hours, I reckon. I've been using it for about a week, which means it'll turn yellow, and then at 8 hours turn green, and it goes all the way up to purple at 128 hours. So imagine, it's almost like you've got a Pokemon in your party and you're like leveling it up with experience, you know? So it's a pretty cool concept. Once you max it out at 128, you have the option of selecting it to any of the colors that you have unlocked. Let me know what you think of that in the comments below. Oh, and actually, check it out. There's the color representation. Maybe I'm already on yellow. What do you reckon? I think I already am on yellow. I think I've already passed orange, so that's really cool. Can't wait to get to blue. That's my favorite color. I absolutely love the pocket clip on this thing, guys. As I said, I've been carrying it for a week now, and it's awesome that it's a deep carry pocket clip, so you can really have this deeply inserted into your pocket, and it won't be poking out. And they've really recessed it there, so it's perfect. And as I said, it's perfect for mounting onto your hat as well. Got a G-Shock hat here, all right? And you just kind of wedge that just like that, and boom, you've got yourself a headlamp if you are a hat wearer. So really, really versatile there, and I am super happy with this pocket clip. Now, something I noticed with cheaper torches, such as this Borrow It V10, which I did a short review of here, is that, yeah, these little rubber covers, look, mine's just completely snapped off, so that's useless now. And I'm very impressed with the quality of this hinging trapdoor there. Very, very cool. And I'm just not worried about this thing breaking, guys. That's the thing with this particular product. It's actually got a lifetime warranty by Olight. So that really does mean this is essentially a buy it for life item, which is just exactly what you want with your everyday carry. The other feature of this that I found unexpectedly cool was the ultraviolet light. This thing is incredibly more powerful than I would have expected. So if I put it on the second setting, as you can see, you've got the ultraviolet there, and you can use this for a number of purposes that you wouldn't have even thought. For example, yesterday I did a deal where I sold something, and I actually used this to verify that the money was indeed real, because when you're dealing with $100 bills, you know, you absolutely want to be certain, and the guy wasn't mad at me for checking either, so that came in handy. I also took it on an adventure, and I was able to use this to spot some kind of like glowing lichen on a tree, which was otherwise invisible to the human eye, so that was pretty cool. Last thing I'll show you with the UV, this thing will open your eyes if you use it around your house with the lights off, guys. Trust me, I was embarrassed when I saw the wall in my bedroom. All right, I may or may not show you the footage because that's how embarrassing it was, but like there's just stuff all over the wall, and I do not recall that being there. So, and I even tested it side by side with the Borrow It, which does have a little UV light as well. This thing is peanuts compared to the capability of the ArkPro Ultra. So now let's walk through the controls and how you actually use this thing. The ArkPro Ultra is extremely intuitive, okay? Once you've got your hands on this thing, you will pick it up and know how to use it immediately. That's how quick it is, okay? So you can press it once to turn it on. All right, now I have it set to the flood light here, okay? And if we wanted it to go into spotlight, we would just swivel this little dial here, boom. Okay, and as you can see, that's the beam there, that's the flood, that's the spot, okay? And then you can swivel it over to ultraviolet just like so. And the other option you have is the green laser pointer, and I wanted to show you that you can actually turn it on while you have other torch modes active, okay? As you can see, there's the pointer just there. So really cool that you can do both of those at once, or if you wanted to do it just by itself, of course you can as well. And if you wanted to, you could do a strobe as well with a triple click. Okay, seizure warning. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, you're good. All right. And the other thing is, if you are at night and you really don't want to blind yourself or your loved ones, you can put it into moonlight mode, okay? So if you just hold it down, it'll turn on. Guys, that is so dim that you can literally stare right at that and it does not even hurt your eyes. So it's perfect for using it at night. And that is applicable to both the flood and the spot modes as well, okay? Whatever mode you're in, you can change the brightness by holding down the button. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you can just stop at whichever desired level you're on. And if you want it to get even brighter into the super brightest mode, you just double tap and look at the brightness on that, guys. I believe it's 1700 lumens. Absolutely insane. It's like brighter than like car headlights, okay? Really, really impressive. Now the display here is very intuitive as well. You may not know it, but there's actually little signals here to let you know. So as you can see, I'm on 3/4 of battery just there. Okay, that can light up to 4. And of course, when the torch is on, that's an indicator of your brightness. So at the moment, I'm on level 3, but if we hold this down, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay, and if we put it into the super mode with a double tap, boom, you've even got your 4th little light up there, okay? So super easy to learn and really intuitive. All right, now I'm excited to show you this. This is 2 things to show you guys. This here is the ArkPro holster, okay, which is exactly as you would expect. And I've also got attached to it the little magnetic proprietary charger here. Okay, now what's really cool about this holster is not only can you wear it on your belt or whatever you'd like, you can also connect it to a wall mount. The holster comes with a wall mount which you can either drill or, like I've done, use the adhesive to stick it next to my bed, all right, which means my ArkPro Ultra is always ready to go. Now check this out. You got your little magnetic charger there. We chuck it into the holster. You ready for this? Boom. The magnet is strong enough to just instantly latch it on, and it disengages as you remove it from the holster. So super, super cool. It makes me know that, like, whenever I chuck it next to my bed, it's always going to be topped up for the next day. Now remember guys, you will receive your magnetic USB-C charging cable for free as part of your package, okay? But as for the holster, this one is very affordable, so I would recommend picking one up. If you would like to do so, scan the QR just here or head to genie.us/holster. And make sure you use the discount code that I've secured for you guys, GR10, to save yourself 10% on your ArkPro Ultra or on your holster. I loved using this with the magnetic base to clip on to my range hood above my cooking surface because the bulbs of my range hood burst. So imagine guys, you've got this thing hanging down over your dinner while it's cooking using the awesome magnetic base. This thing is very, very strong. And guys, let me tell you how it feels to carry this thing, all right? I just feel so capable and prepared every single day, knowing that this quality item is in my pocket, making sure that I'm ready for all my lighting needs. It's honestly one of the most well thought out products with the research and development that they've put into all of the features that I have ever seen. So I would highly recommend getting your hands on one of these. And overall, it's just an absolutely beautiful piece of kit, guys. Just holding it in my very hands makes me feel prepared for anything and so incredibly capable. I do consider this to be a buy it for life item, given that it's got a lifetime warranty and an insane build quality, and with this premium OAL material, which is resistant to scratches. It's just something you're going to have for the rest of your life. If you do want to get your hands on one, pick one up for an insane price by scanning the QR on screen now or visiting genie.us/ArkPro. And as a matter of fact, it's actually on sale right now. And I even managed to secure that exclusive discount code for you guys to save a further 10%. So be sure to use the code GR10 at checkout on Olight. That's GR10 at genie.us/ArkPro. If you do want to pick it up on Amazon or AliExpress, I'll also leave options for that below, but just know that you will not get the 10% discount if you decide to go through there. Oh, and if you do sign up through Olight's website, there's also a sign-up bonus, and you'll get your hands on a free i3E EOS, which is a fantastic little keychain torch that I've been carrying for years. So go and do that now. Oh, and guess who else loves this? It is my puppy, Bubble. She loves the laser pointer, and I've basically got her in the habit. I'll say, Bubble, ready? And then I'll say, fetch, and literally we'll play with this like it's a ball, and she will chase this around, so she absolutely loves it. And while you're looking at Bubble, Bubble is here to remind you to ram the like button if you're enjoying the video so far. Thank you, Bubble. Alright, now let's get into the cons. These are the nitpicks that I didn't like about the ArkPro Ultra. Let's get into it. First of all, guys, the battery of the ArkPro Ultra is not changeable, okay? You can charge it, but you cannot replace it. Now, some of you may look at this as a con, but some of you might actually think of it as not a big deal, because remember, this thing has a lifetime warranty, so I'm really not too concerned about the battery degrading over time. Next up, guys, it is the ultraviolet light. Now, you might be thinking, what could be wrong with this? Well, I'm telling you, on the second power setting, this thing is so powerful, like I can literally, it feels like I'm getting sunburned right now. So I imagine that this thing is probably actually a little bit dangerous, okay? So you definitely don't want this to sort of be left on in your pocket. Actually, that gives me a chance to show you a feature. As a safety, it does actually have a lockout mode. So if I hold that down, you see that little lock symbol is illuminated now. So now that's not going to turn on at all, okay? So just make sure you do turn that on when you're not using it, because you really, like, trust me, and to turn it on, you hold it down. Trust me, you do not want the super high beam mode on while it's in your pocket, or this thing is going to be dangerous. The next thing I didn't like was the advertising material showing this thing being scratched by the keys and how it didn't leave a mark. Now, granted, the key that I used is a colored blank key, this orange one, but when I did try it, I did find that it actually did leave a mark. So we're going to try it again now. I don't know whether it's the material or whether that it's painted or not, but like, look, I'll show you on screen now what it looks like on the website, okay? So they're kind of scratching it and it just rubs away. But when I did it myself, I'll do it here. All right. There is the mark, okay, you've seen it. That's what it's done to the key. So let's put that to the test. I mean, it does, yeah, it does mostly rub away, but I would say that you can still kind of see that, okay? But the thing is, guys, look, you're not going to actually be deliberately trying to scratch this thing, okay? It's just kind of as like a backup measure so that it doesn't get scratched by stuff rubbing against it in your pocket. But still, I do think that the advertising material does misrepresent that a little bit. Let me know what your thoughts are below. The next thing I didn't like is specific to the ArkPro Ultra, but does not apply to the regular ArkPro versions, which aren't made of OAL. And that is that there is only one single colorway choice. Now, let's face it, this color is actually pretty badass, okay? There's nothing wrong with this color, but it would be nice to have other options, okay? Like you can with the non-OAL version. Now, I started thinking about this. I started thinking, well, maybe part of their proprietary process just automatically leaves the material always this color. And I kind of thought, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But then I looked on their website, guys. Check it out. This is another product they have in OAL, and it is indeed a different color. It's like a blue. So they do have the capability to mix in colors with their OAL. So my suggestion, Olight, I would love to see some more colorways made available for the Ultra. The next minor nitpick is to do with the holster and the proclaimed belt clip. So the reason I'm complaining about this is because I feel like having a belt clip on this is redundant, right? Okay, because like if you do mount this and you have it clipped on your belt, what's the point? This thing already has a pocket clip which you could also use for your belt. So I felt that was a bit redundant. I would say that the little adhesive mount that it comes with should just be the default that this is attached to, because no one's really going to be clipping this onto their belt when you could already do it with this. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Do you think that's a valid concern, or do you think this would be useful for clipping on the belt? My next suggestion for improvement would to be that the little display here actually was accurate for moonlight mode. So as I showed you, it shows 1, 2, and 3, okay? However, when you turn it into moonlight mode by holding it down, as you can see, we're on moonlight mode, it just lights up as 1, which is equal to the next level of brightness. See, it went up in brightness, but it's still on 1. So my suggestion would be, when in moonlight, just have that little sun symbol lit up. You don't need the bar there, and then it would be more intuitive and make sense. My next nitpick is to do with the ultraviolet light and the way it behaves inconsistently with the other modes. For example, if I double tap, boom, boom, it is now on at the lower brightness. And if I want to get it up, I have to hold it down to access the higher brightness. When in all the other modes, a double tap puts it to the super maximum brightness. Okay, so why is it that when I double tap on this, it still goes to low mode. Such a minor improvement, but it would be much more intuitive if that made sense and went to the highest available brightness. With the minor nitpicks out of the way, let's get back to the main question. Is the Olight ArkPro Ultra truly the greatest EDC light ever made? Guys, compared to all the lights I've ever carried and ever seen, my answer is absolutely yes. The Olight ArkPro Ultra is the best everyday carry light that you want. It has everything you need, a floodlight, a spotlight, ultraviolet, and a laser pointer. Like, that is literally all of your lighting needs and then some. I am so happy to be reaching for this thing every single morning. I'm honestly excited to get out of bed and grab it. And the way that it levels up with you with the ArkBeat, it really takes this from feeling just like a torch into a companion. This torch is absolutely next level and you need to get your hands on one. And guys, when you add in the fact that it's got a lifetime warranty, grabbing this thing is an absolute no-brainer. So if you've even thought about upgrading your everyday carry or carrying a torch, do yourself a favor and grab yourself an ArkPro Ultra right now while it's on sale. Scan the QR on screen now or head straight to genie.us/ArkPro. Do remember to use my exclusive code GR10 at checkout to save a further 10%. And remember, new users also do get an i3E EOS from the Olight website, which is a great little keychain torch. And in full transparency, using my link may cost you nothing extra, but it does give my channel a small commission that helps me keep making these honest reviews for you absolute legends. Thank you to those of you who use my link. Do make sure that you are a subscriber so you don't miss my next cool gadget review, and share this video with someone who needs a little bit more light in their life. Here is my everyday carry playlist, and guys, I've even started a new channel, so if you want to check that one out, click the video just here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next review. This way. Up.
Now to wash your face tonight before you go to sleep.
Good girl, Bubble.